And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at City of Gears. Now, City of Gears, finally for me, this is a game that we were looking at for a long time. I've been waiting for this one. I played this way ages ago when it was in prototype form, which is why it starts with the Seal of Excellence on the cover. This was a game we actually considered for Dice Tower Essentials, but I wanted it to be Dice Tower Essentials, but Arcane Wonder decided to pass on it. But fortunately, Gray Fox Games did it, and they did a fantastic, wonderful, amazing production with this game. So you already know I like the game. Let's take a look at how it plays. In this game, you're going to have a board made up of 9 tiles, and there's a whole pile of tiles that are included with the game, and these are going to be randomly placed face down. Each player is going to have their own little board with 3 robots that are going to be ready to go, and you're able to pay essentially victory points to bring more robots out if you want to. You have spots down here to keep one resource between turns, and by the way, some of the resources I'm showing you are Kickstarter things, like this is actually a token with a cog on it, but anyhow, I can keep one cog in between turns, or I could even keep another one here because I can keep any resource here. Although I can keep as many move tokens as I want over here. So you're able to keep a few tokens in between turns, and then here it tells you what you can do on your turn, and most importantly, players are going to have their dice. They're going to start with 3, and as the game progresses, they will eventually get a 4th one. Now on player's turn, they're going to roll their dice, and they're going to use these dice as if they were resources. Each die is going to show resources on the side. So we have electricity here. We have this is a gear or a cloud or a gear. So basically, everyone's dice are the same. You're going to roll these and use them as the resources. Again, if you want to, saving resources from turn to turn. Now, as you use these resources, you're going to be able to do actions, and you can do the actions as much or as often as you want to. One of the actions you'll be able is to move, but you can't move unless you have a gear between tiles, and as you notice, these gears are empty. So one of the main things you'll do is you can take an action where you'll draw gears from the bag equal to the number of gears that you spend. And when you draw gears from this bag, they have 2 different things that you can do with them. One, you can put it down here, and it's a special ability for you for the rest of the game. So this one lets you double a resource on a die. And every time you can use it once per turn, and you just put one of your tokens on it to show that you've used it. This one here says, destroy this tile to build your next robot for free. Well, that's pretty cool. This one here lets you change a lightning bolt into 2 clouds, 2 steam, and this one here lets me use a gear belonging to opponent when activating a link bonus. So those are all pretty neat special abilities when I pull them from the bag, or I can decide to take it and simply connect a spot where I already have a robot to another tile on the board, putting one of these on to show that I control that spot. I now can move on that spot. When you use a move, and by the way, you can use move tokens to move if you get these, or you can use steam to move, or you can even use a lightning bolt to basically move anywhere on the whole board. When I discover a tile for the first time, first of all, I get 2 victory points, yay. And then we'll turn this tile over, and now that I'm on that tile, I might be able to use that tile as the game goes by. There's different tiles that are out there. At the end of the game, whoever controls each tile is going to get points. In this case, 3 points. And control is going to be the number of robots you have somewhere, plus the number of gears that you have attached to it in a different direction. Because as the game goes by, you'll be building these different gears in different directions so that you can connect to more tiles on the board. However, at the very beginning of your turn, you can activate a tile. When you activate a tile, you basically need to have a robot there and then spend whatever resources it says here. And this one just gives me 2 points. So I can activate this to get 2 points if I spend those resources. However, when you activate a tile, every other tile that's connected to it in a chain, you will also get a bonus for. That bonus is at the top. So if I had a robot on this spot here, it was connected in a chain, and I ran this, I would get 2 points and a steam. and it's building these big connections that's going to make the game very entertaining and fun. So you can see there's all kinds of tiles that have different types of bonuses at the top and different things that they will do at the bottom, and they're worth different amounts of points at the end of the game. So again, you're going to be spending actions on your turn with your resources that you've saved and the dice that you've rolled. You're going to be moving around the board. You're going to be putting out more tiles. The most cogs you can put out on a turn is you can put out one of these on the board to connect things, and you can add one special ability to your board that you have. You can also pay a lightning bolt to destroy someone else's robot in the same spot as you, which sends it basically back to the beginning. You can spend 2 lightning bolts to blow up someone else's gear. And you can also spend victory points to build your own robots and put more of them out on the board. So you're going to be moving around. It's kind of an area control game. When the last of these 9 tiles is revealed, we're going to throw some white cogs into the bag. And when someone pulls one of these white cogs from the bag for whatever reason, they'll replace it by another one, but it's put by the side of the board. And when the third one has been revealed, or 2 in a short game, if you want to play a shorter game, then that signals the final round. At the end of the round, you will take points that you've collected over the course of the game, plus you will then see who controls each of these tiles here, and whoever has the most points is the winner. Now, it really is a beautiful production. I really like how these gears, they just fit very nicely into these spots. I mean, even the each player has their own colored gear, which just says you can use 2 resources in one of your choice. That's not a necessary thing to have, but it just makes the game look nicer. Each player has their own little special token that they have, a color. The robots are little miniatures, which look really good. The whole board, I mean, the whole thing, like I said, just has a really cool feel. It looks a little busy at points, but as the gears get laid out and there's gears and robots all over the board, it really does have this nice feel like, hey, we're about to open this up and here comes the public and things. Now, I did mention that there's different types of tokens that are in the game, and so I have some replacement tokens for those. These are Kickstarter tokens, but they're not necessary at all. The tokens that come with the game, which are just round tokens, are fine. What makes the game great are these plastic cogs. These are fantastic, and as far as I can tell, every single one of them is different, and it comes in this bag here. So that's just fantastic. The production, the dice themselves are this new kind of dice with this, basically the heat imprinting on the side. As far as I can tell, these dice takes a long time for this to rub off on the sides, and then that's pretty cool. The yellow ones are a little harder to see than the rest, maybe. I think the blue ones are great. And like I said, you have 3 of them at the beginning of the game, and once the whole board's been revealed, then everyone starts rolling 4 dice, which is kind of cool. And it just, the production here is just really fantastic. Now, there's a couple interesting things here. First of all, the game scales oddly. I should mention that because a 4-player game is going to be way more intense and in your face than a 3-player game is, just because you're fighting over the same number 9 tiles that are out there. So keep that in mind. If you want to play, you can even play a nicer game with 4 players. They have a setup where you can have 1 extra tile out there. And if you want to play a game with less confrontation, then go ahead and play that way. And I like that they included that in there. But for the most part, there's definitely that. To me, there's a bit of a different feel. The game also plays fairly quickly. It is an hour game. You're like, da 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 da. Wait, all the tiles have been revealed? Suddenly pulling every cog from that bag gets tense. And you want to play quickly, and it's good. I think the game doesn't overstay its welcome. You go out there. It's an area control game. It is a bit of a mean game. You can blow up enemy robots. You can blow up their gears. You're fighting for control of these different points on the board. The game definitely encourages you to go out and discover, giving you 2 points for that. But the whole game comes down to those cogs. That was the thing that drew me to the game at the very beginning when I first saw it, and it's the thing I still like best about it now. Where when you draw a cog from the bag, you can use it to put on the board for area control purposes and for moving your robots around. You want to be able to move around and do things and get those amazing bonuses. I love that whole bonus chain thing. Or do I want to take this cog and keep it for its special ability? Now, you can only have 5 special ability cogs out in front of you, but still, the fact that everyone is different. I mean, let's just pull some random ones here from the bag. This one here lets me use a lightning bolt. I can spend it every turn to get 2 points. That's amazing. I would definitely take that. But what if I need to get on the board? Here, this one lets me turn a cloud into a movement, and I can just basically store up movement to when I need to use it in the future. This one lets me turn a cloud into a victory point. I pulled 3 that were very similar. This one lets me change a cog into a victory point. Wow. Okay, let's just grab a pile here. This one here at the end of the game, I get a victory point for every tile that I discovered over the course of the game. Here I can use a lightning bolt and a cloud to destroy an opponent's robot anywhere on the board. Here at the end of the game, I pick a tile type and I gain 2 points for each tile type of that I own. This just gives me a free cog every turn. This gives me a movement every time I build a cog on the board. This gives me 2 points at the end of the game for each tile I occupy with a robot but I don't own. Man, and they're all good. And you will think, man, theirs are better than mine. And they're thinking, yours are better than yours. And I like that. And again, it doesn't drag out too long. It's quick. It's fast. I would never play the fast game where the game ends after 2 white tiles. I would always play the 3-1. And so it looks pretty. It plays fast, and it's really not like anything I've seen before. This whole putting cogs out there, this whole moving around. I mean, I've seen area control before, but rolling dice, getting these resources, and then building the cogs for movement purposes and or special abilities. What a great combo. City of Gears coming out soon. I highly recommend it. Check it out. Dice Tower Judgment. Excellent.